Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the 7th Canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 5, text number 36 and 37. 36, there's no purport, so I'll just read the verse. Translation. Although Prahlad is only a 5-year-old, even at this age, he has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. Therefore, he's certainly unworthy. Indeed, it's not at all believable that he would behave well toward Vishnu. Text number 37. Paro api apatam hitam kridyad saranam Paro api apatya kridyad tasu saram Svadevajo api amaya patsuto ahita Svadevajo api amaya patsuto ahita Chinyatadanangam yada uttamano ahitam Sesam sukham jivati yad vivarjanti janat. Word for word. Para, not belonging to the same group or family. Api, although, apyam, a child, hitakrit, who is beneficial, yata, just as, are you sadham, medial herb, swadeyajana, born of one's own body. Api, although, amayavat, like a disease. Suta, a son. Ahita, who is not a well-wisher. Chidya, one should cut off. Tat, that. Angam, part of the body. Yat, which. Utta, indeed. Atmana, for the body. Hitam, not beneficial. Tesam, the balance. Sukam, happiness. Jivati, lives. Yat, of which. Vivar janat, by cutting off. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Is this clear? The sound is clear? Everyone can hear properly? Although a medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as a man, if beneficial, it is kept very carefully. If someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed all devotees of the Lord to be humbler than the grass or talent in a tree. Otherwise, there will always be disturbances to their execution of devotional service. Here's a bit of an example how a devotee is disturbed by a non-devotee. Even though the non-devotee is an affectionate father, the material world is such that a non-devotee father becomes an enemy of a devotee's son, having determined to kill even his son. Hiranyakashipu gave the example of amputating a part of one's body has become septic and therefore injurious to the rest of the body. The same example, of course, may also be applied to non-devotees. Chanakya Pandit advises, Yaja Durjam Samsargam Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. Devotees actually serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep company with devotees. To be attached to material existence is ignorance, because material existence is temporary and miserable. Therefore, devotees who are determined to perform tapasya, penances and austerities, to realize the self, and who are determined to become advanced in spiritual consciousness, must give up the company of atheistic non-devotees. Prahlad Maharaj maintained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father, Hiranyakashipu. Yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devoted, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified this by putting forward the logic of amputation. Om Argyanataram Dasya Jananjana Slakaya Sakshilimitam Zena Tasmei Shri Gurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Nanti Swapanantikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangam Langate Giram Tat Kritpa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, liver of all fallen souls, whose mercy turns the dumb into elegant speakers, enables the lame to cross mountains, and the dog to swim across the ocean. Translation once again. Although a medicinal herb being born in the forest does not belong to the same category as a man, if beneficial, it's kept very carefully. Similarly, if someone outside one's family is favorable, he should be given protection like a son. On the other hand, if a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. So we heard a nice class yesterday on the same topic. So there's 3 points in this verse I'd like to cover. The attitude of Hiranyakashipu, how devotees are, what happens to someone when he becomes a devotee, and the importance of good association. So Hiranyakashipu could not believe that his son would side with Vishnu, because he considered Vishnu to be his enemy. Because Hiranyakashipu got the benediction from Lord Brahma, it's only benedictions, so he thought he was immortal, could not be killed by anyone, and thought he was beyond anyone's jurisdiction, even Vishnu. So Hiranyakashipu was so cruel that he was prepared to kill his own son, who was only 5 years old. When you see a 5-year-old boy, generally he's very cute. You don't think about doing anything to give him pain. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his son. And he's using logic. He's trying to use it he's trying to justify his action. Why kill a 5-year-old boy? He could wait till he grows up. Sometimes children are very nice devotees, but when they grow up and get polluted by a bad association, they don't stay devotees. They give up their devotional life. So Hiranyakashipu, we could have waited for Prahlad to grow up. Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't have any armies. He wasn't doing anything violent. He couldn't attack Hiranyakashipu. So why would he want to kill his 5-year-old son? At least he could have sent him away. He could have sent him to a different place or something he could have done. But this is, to kill someone is never sanctioned by any religious scripture. Even in the Bible it says, "Thou shalt not kill," first commandment. But they interpret that as, "Thou shalt not murder," and they say it's okay to kill innocent animals because they don't have a soul. And we don't agree with that. We know that there's 8,400,000 species of life, and every species has a soul. And sometimes people he made demigods, they don't get a karmic reaction like we do. They don't have to go to Yamaraj and suffer for their sinful activities. But they do suffer for their sinful activities. It's like in the 6th canto, Indra disrespected his spiritual master, had to suffer a sinful reaction. Then he cut off the head of another spiritual master who had 3 heads, and he had to suffer again for his sinful reaction. Then he killed Vritrashura, who was acting like a demon but was actually a Brahmin Vaishnava, and he had again suffer for sinful activity. So either way, Hiranyakashipu didn't consider these matters, didn't consider it that he'd have to suffer a reaction, because he thought he was immortal above all these things. Because the demigods, they don't go to Yamaraj. Only people on this planet who are sinful have to go to Yamaraj and get judged, and then suffer the results of their sinful or pious activities. So Hiranyakashipu said that this was, if there's something is septic, the word septic means infected part of the part, infection. It's the antiseptic. Antiseptic is something used to clean a wound, but septic means something that's infection. And sometimes people get cancer in one part of the body, so it's recommended that they amputate that part of the body so the cancer doesn't spread to the rest of the body. So Hiranyakashipu is considering his son to be septic, or a dangerous limb of his body. So he's thinking that he should kill him or get rid of him. It's like the half-hen philosophy. One man had a chicken who gave nice eggs, and he was making a nice profit and living comfortably. But he thought, well, maybe I can stop feeding the hen. I'll cut off his head so I don't have to feed it anymore. Of course, when he did that, he stopped getting the eggs. So that's the half-hen philosophy. So this is also different logic, illogical logic. If you think someone worships Lord Chaitanya but doesn't worship Lord Nityananda, or doesn't accept Lord Nityananda, that's also considered the half-hen philosophy. So Prahlad Maharaj was accused of being non-cooperation movement. It's like Mahatma Gandhi started his non-cooperation movement to drive the British out, so that the India could become an independent country. Anyway, so after Hiranyakashipu gave this logic, then he was also, when someone becomes a devotee, there's maybe many problems, because the devotees are different than everyone else. We don't eat meat, we don't gamble, we don't take intoxication, we don't have illicit sex. So the parents, when they heard this, became very disturbed. And sometimes they would put their children in mental hospitals, thinking they'd gone crazy. Sometimes they hired deprogrammers, people who they pay a lot of money. If you came from a rich family, then there was a chance that your parents would hire some people called deprogrammers who would try to convince devotees that they were doing the wrong thing and that they should not be devotees. And most of the time it didn't work. The devotees went along with the programmers for a while, then they found a way to just escape and went back to the temple. So this is what happens when you become a devotee. There may be so many opposition, and in some cases, most cases, people are religion tolerant. You know, in the West, America, some people change their religion, but no one gives much importance to that. Someone may be Christian, may change his religion, may become Jewish. But Muslims, they can't tolerate that. If you're born in a Muslim country and you're a Muslim, if you change your religion, they may kill you. So it's dangerous in some countries. To become a Hare Krishna, they have to be very careful, do it secretly. In different countries like Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, these countries are dangerous. The devotees can't go there looking in devotional dress and can't preaching is dangerous there because Muslims are Shishi Gornitai, Krishna Balaram Radhe Shama Sundar Ki Jai. The Muslims are fanatics. Muslims don't believe if you change your religion, then it's dangerous. So in the 70s, when the movement started, the devotees would go out in the street chanting Hare Krishna. In Australia, they'd go out and do Harinam. The police would keep arresting them, putting them in jail. So they asked Prabhupada, what should we do? Should we hire a lawyer? Prabhupada said, no, just let them keep putting you in jail and chant Hare Krishna in jail. So they did that. After some time, there was a court case. The judge said, these are nice people, you should leave them alone, stop harassing them. And the same thing happened in England. They were arresting the devotees, putting them in jail, but eventually they stopped. So this is also, devotees are going on the street, chanting Hare Krishna, distributing books. This is not such a, why are people disturbed by this? If we're just a cult or some sect or something that had some, just temporary coming and going, and why? But because we're actually following the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and we're a bona fide movement, people are disturbed by this, even though they shouldn't be disturbed by this. And the Russians, the KGB, they were very cruel to the devotees. They put them in jail. They put them in mental hospitals. If you put someone in jail, then they have to suffer a certain time period. They have a sentence. They have to be released. But if you put someone in a mental hospital, there's no time period how long they must stay there. So in either case, the KGB, the communists, were against the devotees and tortured the devotees in many ways. But now that no longer exists. So this is the different things, the different problems that devotees go through. When you become a devotee, shave your head, wear a dhoti kurta. It's a shock to the family members. It's a shock because it's different. And like Hiranyakashipu, they don't want to listen to logic or reason. The parents, most parents, I don't know, just can't understand this. One man said to his son that you're a disgrace to our family. If you worked in a gas station or petrol pump, pumping gas all day, you'd be useful. But now you're a Hare Krishna, now you become useless. So, this is how they think. They can't understand. If a sinful person tries to read the Bhagavad-Gita, they can't understand the philosophy. Someone eats meat, takes intoxication, they don't have any brain to understand this Krishna conscious philosophy. This is called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal occupation of the soul. So these 2 points, the devotee, the Hiranyakashipu, wanting to kill his son, and devotees being harassed different ways, going Harinam. So some people want to harass us. In Poland, they do the Polish festival all over Poland. It's a very wonderful production, so many nice things, and the general people love it. But one man wouldn't give us permission. He was the vice mayor. But the mayor was favorable. He liked the devotees. So the mayor called in his assistant, said, why are you not giving these people permission to have their festival? The man said, these people are a nuisance, these Hare Krishnas, they shouldn't be allowed in our town. But the mayor overrided him and said, no, you give them permission. So the man was a demon. Anyway, we meet with this different opposition is there. all the time. But we just tolerate it. They even thought that the Hare Krishnas were part of the CIA. So Prabhupada said, what's the CIA doing in the Hare Krishna movement? Going out on the street chanting Hare Krishna, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak. Doesn't sound like the CIA to me. So many different events happen, but devotees tolerant. Prabhupada says here, devotees always tolerant. Janadapi Snichena Tarapi Sisuna Manya Mandana Kirtanya Sadhari. So devotees should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, ready to offer all respects to others. So devotee, we have to tolerate all these different problems. Of course, we tolerate. If someone attacks us, we tolerate it. But if someone attacks another devotee, blasphemies Krishna or blasphemies devotee, that we cannot tolerate. The Avanti Brahman, he was a very cruel 11th canto, Avanti Brahman. He was a very cruel and miserly man. He lost all his money, his family rejected him, and the spirit of renunciation came in his heart, and he took sannyas. So then he traveled all over the world, and whatever happened to him, he just accepted it as the will of Providence. Sometimes they would tie him up. Sometimes they would spit on him. Sometimes they'd pass water on his prasadam. Sometimes they'd take his clothes. Sometimes they would tie him up. But in either case, he never protested. He just saw everything as the will of Providence. Same thing with Maharaj Rishabdev when he became an Avaduta, and he wandered the world with no clothes, looking like a dull, dumb man. And whatever happened to him, they threw garbage on him, they spit at him, and called him ill names. He just tolerated it. So this is the position. Even Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, but they called him to the court. The Qazi complained about him to the Nawab. They say, you're born in a Muslim family, why don't you preach from the Quran instead of chanting Hare Krishna? And Haridas Thakur replied that even if you cut my body into 10 million pieces, I will never give up chanting Hare Krishna. So they ordered Haridas Thakur to be beaten in 22 marketplaces. But since Lord Chaitanya protected him, he didn't feel any pain. So they asked Haridas Thakur why he had to be beaten in 22 marketplaces. And he said, because I heard blasphemy of the Supreme Lord. Anyway, no one would survive more than 2 or 4 marketplaces, but Haridas Thakur continued to live and continued to smile at his people who were beating him. But he took it as the will of Providence. So many things may happen to devotees against it. Even Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada was in Delhi, got gored by a bull. He got sunstroke. So many things happened to him, but it didn't stop him from his preaching. So devotees tolerate whatever inconveniences come up by their own accord, but we don't. We just see it as the will of Providence. The last point here, Prabhupada's saying, Shanaka Pandit advises. And Prabhupada used to quote from Shanaka Pandit. He was a advisor to the king. So Shanaka Pandit said, renounce the company of evil-minded persons, associate with saintly persons, perform the pious deeds both day and night, and remember always temporary nature of this material world. This is quoted by Prabhupada in this verse, this purport. Jyaja dirjam samsargam bhaja sadhu samagam. And then Devotees who are serious about advancing in spiritual life should give up the company of non-devotees and always keep the company of devotees. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Sadhu Sanghas, Sarva Shastra Koi, Labha Mantra Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Siddhi Hoy. The verdict of all revealed scriptures is that for even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. A Vaishnava should always avoid the association of ordinary persons. Common people are very much materially attached, especially to women. Vaishnavas should also avoid the company of those who are non-devotees. And in Nectar Instruction, Rupa Goswami gives the do's and the don'ts. So, the don'ts are eating more than necessary, collecting more funds than required, over-endeavoring for mundane things, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the rules and regulations for the sake and not for spiritual advancement, associating with world-minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and being greedy for mundane achievements. So this is number 5, associating with worldly-minded persons. This is what is described here, that the devotee should avoid the association of non-devotees. And then the do's are, one should be enthusiastic, endeavor with confidence, be patient, acting according to the enthusiastic, confidence, patience, acting according to regulated principles, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following the footsteps of previous acharyas. So it seems like almost the same thing. Don'ts is giving up the associating with worldly-minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and abandoning the association of non-devotees. So devotees go on Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, and it may be said that they're associating with non-devotees. But that's not the case. When we go on Harinam, we're not taking their association, we're giving them our association. And to associate with someone means you embrace the same thoughts, the same ideas. So when we go on Harinam, we give someone a book, say, my dear sir, you're very intelligent, now you forget everything you ever learned, and take this book. So it's only one way. We're only interested in giving people Krishna consciousness. We're not interested in hearing about their sex life or how they're trying to get sense gratification in so many ways. So we're not actually associating with people in that way. But we have to be careful anyhow. When we go in the material world, it's a dangerous place. Padam padam vipadam nate sam. There's danger at every step, and the opposite sex is there, and so many allurements are there. So we have to be very strong in our Krishna consciousness. So Vaisheshika Prabhu wrote this book, Family Business, and he said that the first principle for book distributors and preachers is they should show up to the morning program. So if you have good sadhana, this will keep us pure. Prabhupada established his temple, temples all over the world, so devotees could keep themselves pure. So when they go out to preach, they'll not be allured by anything in the material world. So the association is very important. It says, birds of a feather flock together. You see the pigeons, they're all together, and the sparrows are together, and the parrots are together. They don't mix. So in the same way, Srila Prabhupada started this association, International for Krishna Consciousness, so devotees could live together with like-minded consciousness. All the devotees in this temple and all over the world have the same goal, the same interest, to become Krishna conscious, to develop our love for Krishna. Of course, those who are Kinista Bhaktas, they may have different separate interests. Lord Kapila Dev called them separatists. The devotee may be worshipping deity, but he might also have material desires. But still, the way to associate with devotees is that if someone is more advanced than you, then you should inquire from them. If someone's on an equal level with you, then you should make friendship with them. And if someone's less advanced than you, then you should try to help them become more advanced. This is the way we associate with devotees. And also, it says that giving gifts and accepting gifts, giving prasadam and accepting prasadam, reveal one's mind in confidence, and hearing someone else's in confidence. This is the 6 symptoms of loving exchanges between devotees. So we should always try to serve the Vaishnavas. This is an important point in devotional service, that we should always keep this humble attitude, that not that I should be served, but that I should serve everyone in as much as possible. Instead of taking service, even Mahaprabhu and the spiritual master sent Govinda to act as his servant. Govinda was the disciple, was his godbrother. He was also a disciple of Ishwara Puri. So when Ishwara Puri sent Govinda to serve Mahaprabhu, he didn't want to accept his service, because the godbrother should not accept service from his godbrother. But then he asked Rup Damodar what he should do, and he said it was the order of the spiritual master. So the order of the spiritual master is like a thunderbolt, and it should never be disrespected. So because Ishwara Puri had ordered Govinda to serve Mahaprabhu, then he accepted him. So these are different ways of associating with devotees. Whenever there's a chance, we try to serve the devotees. If they have time to serve prasadam, or in some way, keep yourself engaged in Krishna consciousness, and not become distracted. So Ranikashipu, Prahlad Maharaj remained an attitude of non-cooperation with the philosophy of his father. Ranikashipu yet he was tolerant and humble. Hiranyakashipu, however, being a non-devotee, was so polluted that he was even prepared to kill his own son. He justified by this by putting forth the logic of amputation. So this is what what can you do? If someone has a maniac mentality and doesn't want to take the Krishna consciousness, our only thing we can do is give them prasadam. This is our secret weapon. We call the kitchen religion. People don't want to chant, they want to read the books, but if you give them nice prasadam, at least they appreciate that, if they'll take it. A lot of times people won't even take prasadam because they think we put some drugs in it. They think we're, taking drugs because the devotees look so happy and peaceful, and everybody else looks so morose and unhappy. But at least we try. We have big festivals all over America, all over the world. We distribute prasadam to people. At least they get prasadam and they get purified. It says even if a dog takes prasadam, he's guaranteed to get a human form of life. So this is what we're interested in, spreading Krishna consciousness and making people devotees. And those who are innocent, they will become devotees. Those who are demoniac and opposed will never become devotees. So you always have those two factions. So I'll stop there. There's many more things to say, but I have service now, and I don't have time for any questions. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.